Yeah, yeah. There's the awesome flower. Shakate. Shakate is another flower of awesomeness, helping out. That's the center dot. At the center, it's gold for compassion, the complexion of the goddess, whose embodiment is compassion. So I was just saying that this dark age is called, in India they call it Kali Yuga, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And it started 5,000 years ago. Previous to that, it was silent meditation and things like that, which don't have the effect anymore. There are certain priestly mafias that try to show that they can do the austerities better than other people, and then people with a poor fund of knowledge imitate the silent meditation. But you can meditate, and I've done this, you can meditate for 2 hours in silence and make as much advancement with 10 minutes of mantra meditation, mantra yoga. So it takes about 10 minutes to do one time around on these beads, and you can take a vow to do one a day and increase it from there. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna level with everybody here. There's some more quotes that are my life and soul. There's 3 quotes. They're about the holy name. And these quotes, you see, I don't look like I follow a path from India. I kind of like, I'm following my heart. My Swami friend who came through, he said, yeah, this persona kind of fits you. He didn't chastise me for having different look. And we're in Florida. If you don't know, North Florida is like the most humid place on earth. It's hot, it's suffering, and that's why I have my cut-off shirt. And I like hair, but I like to have sides that are clean so I can like feel the breeze. Every person can and should be who they are. I'm wearing white yogi pants and pretty much living just like a yogi. You know, simple living, high thinking. I got a place in the woods with a teepee and, you know, spend most of my time in nature. And only things that I have are things that I can use in the service of the Lord. So that's a principle. When you're taking instruction, I'm repeating instruction, but we're here heart to heart. It is said that self-realization is shared from one congenial heart to another. And so, but I'm going to tell you in a personal way, because that's how it works best. You can't just put, you know, everyone in a 3-piece suit and tell them go to work. Somebody's got to, you know, turn pipe wrenches. Somebody's got to fix cars. You know, we don't all start from the same starting point. We're all unique. So spiritually, it's very important to have that one-on-one so you can get an understanding of where you're at and where you can progress from where you're at. Really what it boils down to is expert strategy in your kala, desha, and your patra, your time, your place, and you're the candidate or the circumstances. So I would say use everything you have, and this is actually good advice for everybody. Use everything you have for God, that you can use for God's service, and simplify your life with everything else.
What is that?
I don't know. It's some nice creature who's come to hear class. So anyway, simple living and high thinking. First thing you do to make advancements, you take some basic instruction, which I was given, we're all given, and we just say, okay, I'm going to set up myself with yogi pants and shirts. It can be just a white t-shirt. Simple living, high thinking. I'm going to look at what I need to do the duties I have for school, for work, for music career, and I'm going to simplify. I'm going to get rid of a lot of things. And I'm going to, you know, be more focused and clear. Create an altar, a sacred space. I like crystals and sage and a picture of Vishnu and Jesus. Vishnu is God and Jesus is the Son. This is the revelation from India. God's not some unembodied emotion floating around the universe, touching people on the back shoulder with love. And the beads are central. We don't do altar worship anymore. That's supplemental. You can do that. It's a nice place to transform with your life, to have crystals, to have sage, whatever you like. It reminds you of a sacred space that transforms with your life. Have a picture of Vishnu, God, and whoever else, Buddha, that's up to you. I do believe in spiritual personalities because they're real and they're our best helpers. My Catholic family, sometimes they send me some icons, some things of saints. I travel a lot. I get St. Peter a lot from them, And but whatever. Even a Christian lady, the most Bible-thumping Christian lady, saw that I like crystals. And she opened up somewhere in the Bible, and Jesus had crystals in his pocket or something. It was crazy. I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, I think these, they were hard minerals of some kind being named. I thought they were crystals. But anyway, and that altar, the crystals should be rinsed in water, in clean water, and put back. And the sage, you sage the altar and the crystals and whatever. And when you take the incense, you don't just light it for your own sense gratification. You circulate it at the feet of Buddha, Jesus, Vishnu, Krishna, Rama, 4 times. It's an offering. And that is before eating, even before, you don't taste the food while you're cooking. You reach out with your subtle senses and think, I'm cooking this for God. Please guide me to use the right amount of spices. I don't have to take it for my own sense gratification. Before a food is offered, it's called boga, which means the word bogus comes from that. And but after it's offered, not just prayed over and given thanks for, instead of saying, oh, thank you for this food, Lord, you say, please accept this food. You're cooking it with a consciousness of offering. This is so central in India. And after any pious person has cooked the vegetarian food, historically there's over 85% of the people are vegetarian. And they would cook it, and then they would open the door and say, if anybody's hungry, please come in. There's prasadam. The food is called prasadam after it's offered. And you pray and you do some chanting and just a couple of minutes, and then, or even a few seconds if you don't have that much time. But it has to be offered nicely. And then it's prasadam, which means the Lord's mercy. That God has come down and actually turned that food into her own body. It's blessed sacrament. You're eating God, and it goes into all your cells in your body. It says every 7 years we have all new cells. And so we're actually eating food that has become the body of God by offering it to God with love and having a little moment for God to enjoy it, and then it's done. Mahaprasadam. You see? The great mercy of the Lord. These are all just real practical things, and the main thing, the main vow is to constantly try to say the holy names all day, every day. If you can't do it and count it, that's kind of very advanced. I started saying there's 3 verses that really is everything to me, and that is, the holy name alone can render all benediction upon living beings. Thus, there are hundreds and millions of names. This is a great prophecy from India. Hundreds and millions of names. And then it says there are no hard and fast rules for chanting them. So you can throw out all the rituals and dogma, and at the same time, they're all summed up in 2 things. Whatever's favorable, we should accept for God's service, and whatever's unfavorable, we should reject. If you're very sincere, it says that all religious rituals and dogmas and so many things are contained in these 2 rules. And the other 2 rules is always remember God, never forget God. And in this age, to remember God means to always chant the names of God. That's the Dharma, the Yuga Dharma. So this is the only process, like all those verses that we read said, it's the only process for self-realization is to repeat constantly the name of God. And if we can't take the word of all the scriptures, then who can we take the word of? And these are the highest things that the scriptures recommend. So this is life in a nutshell, and to come to associations, take good association as often as possible.